Hi, my name is Giselle de Oliveira. I'm from Brazil. I live in Boston for almost 12 years. And I decided to come here because I had some friends and some relatives that were living here at the time. The reason I decided to move to Boston, not exactly to Boston, but to the United States, my mom got very ill, and in order to provide for her treatment, I had to make a decision, and I decided to come here and work for a couple of years, and like everybody else, planning on going back to Brazil one day. But as time goes, you learn how to love this city and this country, and there you go, 12 years already.
My name is Fernanda. I am from Medford, Massachusetts, and I've been in America for about 7 years.
Why did you come to Boston? Well, to America, more
Well,
specifically Boston.
Yeah, I came because my parents wanted to come because they knew they would have better opportunities here, like job-wise and stuff. And my grandmother was already living here, and so that's why they chose this city specifically.
How was life in Brazil?
It was okay. It was hard. I lost my father, I was 13, and my brother was 9. So it wasn't exactly easy. And simple things in Brazil can be very hard to have, like the basics for a good living, for decent living. So it wasn't exactly easy. It was very hard. But when you have your family around and your friends, you just feel like you can do anything, and you are in your own country. I never really thought about living abroad until my mom got sick. I had dreams of building a career. I started building a career in Brazil, and so far it went very well, but it wasn't enough to provide. And from working as an interior designer to a house cleaner in somebody else's country, but even doing that in here, I've been able to provide everything my mom needs so far. So I can say it was okay, but you have many more opportunities in here. If you want, you can be whenever you want, as long as you work hard for it.
Life in Brazil. In the beginning, it was pretty good, but afterwards, there was like a lot of stuff going on, and things started to, like economically and stuff, started to become harder. So, we just try to adjust as best we could.
Why do you love here so much?
I love here because, especially Boston, I like the fact that everyone is always on the go, always working or going to school, but at the same time you have so much to do. The city has so much to offer in terms of culture and everything. You can find anything to do in Boston. There is no way you're gonna tell me that you can't find anything you'd like to do in Boston. You have options to any taste. I've learned how to speak some English, some Spanish. I've learned things that I never thought I would. I've been places that I never thought I would be. And the way people just accept you and treat you, no matter what you do, as long as you're honest and hard worker, is always going to be a space for you in this town. And that's why I love it so much. And it's beautiful. Boston's a beautiful city.
There's more opportunities, and I think here it's safer, and I like the atmosphere here as well.
Do you think it's hard being a Brazilian in America or no?
I think it's hard being a Brazilian in America when you don't have the opportunities to get certain documents and things like that, because I feel like it's very hard when it comes to I would say, let's say for example you don't have a green card or something, and you can't necessarily go back to your country to visit family. Like there's family that I haven't seen in 7 years, and I would say that's probably the hardest part, is not being able to go there and see your family and just be able to see how everyone's doing. Like I have a baby cousin right now that I haven't seen yet, and she's the cutest thing, and I'm dying to see her. So I would say that's probably the hardest part, is when you don't have the right documents.
It's the hard part, is that being away from your family. And doesn't matter how much you talk to them every day on the phone. I see them once a year, maybe twice a year. And that's the hard part. 12 years here, 12 years without spending a birthday with them. Few Christmas, few important events in the family. But I miss them so much. So that's a dream, to be able to have my family here with me. At least my mother and my brother. That would be, it's just the three of us. And then I would be like, okay, I'm good to go. That's how I need so far.
You are more, do you participate in more the American culture or the Brazilian culture?
I would say it's half and half. I've definitely got some Brazilian in me, but I think American is also something that's kind of infused. It's become a part of me. So I would say half and half American, half Brazilian, kind of.
Well, the girls that work with me, the Brazilians, and most of my friends are Brazilian. And so I speak Portuguese all day long with them, of course. But sometimes I feel like it's hard. You get lost. I'm not American, and at the same time I'm not very into my culture anymore. Like there is the soap operas that all my friends talk about it. I have no idea what's going on. And I work a lot, so I don't have a lot of time on my hands. So I watch the news in here. I live here. I want to know what's going on here, how the traffic, how the weather, what's going on politics. So I can either watch Brazilian or American news at night, so otherwise I will watch TV until God knows until what time. So it's hard sometimes. I know I'm Brazilian, I love my country, but at the same time I live here, I have a life here. And that kind of push you away from what's going on in your own country and in your own culture. Sometimes like a music that a lot of people know, I have no idea. Especially living with someone that was basically raised in here, because he came here so young. So in our house, of course, we only watch American channels. So that keeps me away sometimes. But it doesn't matter how often I watch Brazilian news, if I watch soap operas or not. I'm Brazilian, it's in my blood. It's not gonna change. It doesn't matter how many years I'm away from my country or where I am, I'm always going to be Brazilian.
What's your definition of being American?
A definition of being American, at first I thought like what it is to be American, and it took me a while to realize. And it's a mix. America is a country made of immigrants. And anywhere you go, the only people that I consider real Americans is the American natives. Besides that, everyone will have a relative that is from England or Ireland or Italy or Brazil or Mexico. So being American is a mix of culture. I've learned so much in this country, and I learned how to love the way things are done here.
American. I think it really I would say American is someone who respects the country, who has a love for the nation, who wants the best for the American people or for the people here in this country in general.
Why do you consider yourself American?
I also consider myself American because I think I've been able to become a part of this country. I think I play a role in society in this country, and I want to do my best now as well as in the future to contribute to this place and do the best that I can here to help out.
I don't. I'm Brazilian. I was born and raised in Brazil. I do love Brazil. I just learned how to love this nation as mine as well. And I know I still have a lot to learn from the culture. My English can get much better, but the life changing that it gave it to me, that's what made me love it the most. And it's a feeling that's hard to explain. You need to be in this position to say, but I am Brazilian. I will always be. I just learned this country like it's mine as well.
What are these opportunities that you...
Like I said, educational opportunities, job opportunities. Like I just got an internship at the Reagan Institute doing research for HIV to find a cure for HIV. So things like that are things that here I feel like it's more likely for me to get those opportunities than I would be able to in Brazil. So things like that I think, you know, contribute to that.
A lot of things has happened in my life because I'm here. I got the opportunity to go to Italy and see the place where my grandma was born, the house she was raised, and travel in Italy, something that I wouldn't be able to do it if I wasn't here because I wouldn't be able to afford. I'm getting married. We bought a house in here. I bought a house for my mom in Brazil. I have a small business. And so far, so good. Looking forward for the future. Looking forward for our wedding. I've met many good people. I count those little things more than what you really financially made, because the friends I made in here, it's priceless.
Go back to Brazil if you can.
I would go back to visit. I want to live here though.
I don't think I would ever go back to Brazil for good. I love to go there and see my family, spend time with them. Sounds crazy, but after 2 weeks, I miss Boston. I want to come back home. This is my home now. I can't explain why or how I start to feel like that. It's just how I feel. I can't picture myself living anywhere else. Even when I travel in the United States, after a while, I want to come home. And home for me is Boston.
What are other immigration laws do you think that should be changed or put upon?
Well, in 2012, June 2012, Obama came and talked about DACA, which is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and that was really an amazing thing because I applied for it, and now I have certain documents, like I have a Social Security and I can get a driver's license, you know, things like that. And, you know, it makes a really big difference in your life, you know, just to have that safety of being able to drive, knowing that, you know, like you're okay, you're doing the right thing, you know what I mean? And not having to go against the law like some people have to because they don't have the chance to get a driver's license, not because they don't know how to drive.
Immigration's law are very complicated. We need to look at both sides. I look at the side of people like me that came here for a better opportunity, a better chance in life. In my case, a chance of life for my mother, because since if I couldn't provide the treatment she needs, I wouldn't probably have her anymore. So we come here for the American dream, full of expectations. But at the same time, I understand the other side. It's not our country. There are rules to be that you need to understand and respect. There is the language that I feel like I'm never going to speak perfect English, but you need to at least try. It's the language of the country. If you come to my country, I will expect you to live there. I will expect you to speak Portuguese. You are in my country, in my house. There is both sides, and I feel it's very unfair. I feel it's unfair because it's not our country, but we're here. And it's not going to change. So I wish something could be done. It's better to take care of the problem than just pretend it's not there.
Brazilian by birth, Bostonian by choice.
Brazilian by birth, Bostonian by choice.